Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Synchronysta. Hi. I hope you're all having a blessed Saturday. Come on in, come on in. Join me and say hi as you're dropping in. Welcome to Synchronysta here on the Akashic Academy only. My name is Chrysta Higgenbotham, and I am a pain catalyst consultant. So what I do is I help people find and locate the catalysts in their life that manifest pain on an emotional and physical level. And I help you rid that from your field and rid that from your body. Hi, Donna. Hi, welcome. Thanks for coming. Hi, Cindy. Absolutely am. Yay, I'm so glad you're here. So I'd just like to invite everybody to share this out with your groups, with your friends, your acquaintances, with your peeps, with your homies, anybody that you think might like some encouragement today. So, hi, Teresa. Hi. I look over because that's where the comments are, but I guess I should look at the camera. Hi, Teresa. Hi, William. Welcome. So today we're going to be talking about boundaries, but first I wanted to see if anybody had any synchronicities they wanted to share from the last few weeks and any changes in their perspective based on the last conversations that we had where we noticed an opportunity to change our perspective this week. I know I have a couple examples. I actually had some synchronistic events that led me to look into my perspective on myself. And fortunately, I was able to reach out to some friends when I was feeling kind of down. And I was just, there was an outpouring of love that helped me change my perspective on myself in that situation. So just want to say thank you to everybody that's been there for me. It's been very helpful to have a group of people to talk to and to help us realize a different perspective on ourselves this week. Hi, Paula. Hi, Anne. Welcome. Hey, Christy. Hi, love. Kirath. Hi, Kirath. Welcome back. So some other synchronicities this week. I saw this beautiful hawk that was in a tree really high above my daughter's school. So that was really nice. It felt very protective energy. So that was really, really cool. I'm getting more and more of these large birds like the eagles and the hawks. So it's a loving and protective energy. It's very nice. So share with me if you guys had any synchronicities this week. Oh, Christy said she manifested a white butterfly in her backyard within minutes. Oh, wow, that's so pretty. That's lovely. Very pure energy, the white butterfly. That's cool. So you just set the intention and within minutes it came to fruition. That's beautiful. Hi, Jamie. Hi, love. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about boundaries. Energetic boundaries and how boundaries impact our life force energy and the energy that we hold within ourselves and our chi, and where we can, set some boundaries and even loosen some boundaries. So I'd love to hear what everybody, what their definition of boundaries are in your life. Anne said she saw the number 44 everywhere. Awesome! That's a cool one. Did you look that one up on Sacred Numbers to see what it means? I'd love to hear that, to hear what it means and see, what the universe is saying to you today. Okay, so boundaries. So boundaries represent a lot of different things to a lot of people, and I don't think that we fully recognize that our boundaries are kind of our little protection bubble, and it can impact how much energy we are giving out and how much energy we're getting back. And we're in this life to have reciprocity, right? Where we give and take, kind of like the yin and the yang and the commingling of the energy. But we have to make sure that our boundaries are intact so that we're not giving out more than we are getting back in this life. We don't want to slowly just be depleted and depleted. And so if you're somebody that has fatigue or anxiety or irritability, or has a tendency to get sick, there could be some boundaries in your life that need strengthening that will help you keep that energy in, and you'll feel better. You won't feel as fatigued because you'll be holding that in, boistering that energy instead of letting it leak out. Let's see. Hi, Cindy. What matter is what we think and what we say about ourselves instead of what others say or think about us. Thank you, Christy. I love that. That's beautiful. Yeah, and that's really what this journey is about, is self-discovery and self-love, right? So that's part of what boundaries are here for. Okay, so examples of boundaries are usually almost always talked about in the sense of relationships, right? So if you have an intimate relationship, your boundaries might be lessened and you be more open to that person. And then you have friends where you have some boundaries where you don't share too much or don't give too much. And then you have acquaintances where you have, boundaries even higher up. And so some people don't know how to change the level of their boundaries depending on the intimacy of the relationship, and their wall can kind of be all over the place. And when you let your guard down in a situation where you don't fully understand that other person's energy field and what they're bringing to the table, you could leave a little bit drained. So, and they see this in science with the electromagnetic field of our heart. So, if we're within 5 feet of somebody, our electromagnetic fields are intermingling, and our electromagnetic field that touches our heart actually go into a sync with each other when they commingle like that. So that's a really cool scientific way to explain all of the different energetic levels of boundaries. So we have our physical body, which is the densest form. We have our emotional body, and then we have our spiritual body. And these are all fields kind of like the electromagnetic field that go around our physical body. And so we have to recognize in scenarios when we put ourselves somewhere in a situation that our fields are touching, right? And that's not to say that you can't hang out with people, but that is to say that you have to recognize how much of your energy you're investing into a relationship like that, and how much of your energy you're getting back, and is being invested in you, and the reciprocity of it. So another example of commingling energy is kind of like is engaging in gossip. So that's something that came to me recently via a discussion with one of my girlfriends. And there is a time and a space for venting, and as a person who wants to help people, you want to be empathetic and validate their feelings. But when it crosses over into engaging in gossip and it crosses over into a derogatory discussion, it's not serving you and that person anymore, or the person that you're talking about. And what that does is it can actually create a little perforation in our field. It's like a little hole where a little energy is leaking out, because what we're engaging in is lowering our vibration, and actually the vibration of the person that we're having the discussion with. And so that's something that, it's not quite as intense as relationships, but it's sometimes the little things in life where we don't notice all these little perforations are coming in based on what we're commingling our energy in. So, hi Jen. Hi, Jamie. I often have a hard time trusting too soon and then letting down boundaries that should have probably stayed up. Yes. So that's a great example too. So the boundary thing with relationships is the biggest piece, because relationships are the biggest energetic commingling that we have here. Everything is relative, right? So yeah, that's something that we'll talk about today, because I want to do at the end like a little meditation where we go into trying to see areas in our life where we can set boundaries more strongly, and then in other areas where we can loosen the boundaries a little bit. And so loosening the boundaries. Hi Pam. Hi sweet girl. Hey Justin. Hey Bex. Welcome back. I think you're back from vacation. I hope you had a good time. Okay, so I was saying, another boundary issue, which kind of goes on the other end of the spectrum, is not receiving. So in scenarios where we don't have, we put our guard down too quickly, we can have the opposite, where we push people away and we don't allow ourselves to receive love. We don't allow ourselves to receive help when we need it. And so in a sense, we can have too hard of a boundary, especially because of pride, or, pride, don't want to ask for help. And so when we do that, we're actually creating a block. So we have all these other perforations over here where stuff's coming out, but we have an opportunity for energy to come in, and we're blocking it because we are too prideful to accept and receive love. And so I want to ask everybody to recognize if you have both things in your life, if you have a boundary that you need to strengthen, and to protect yourself. We don't need to be this oversharers like the society has trying to create us to be. Oversharing with somebody can create a perforation in your energetic field, where if it's not serving you to share that with them, it can create an energetic leakage. So I like to use metaphors, and especially scientific ones. Hi Jen. A good example of a very dense boundary in our life is our skin, right? It's all over our body. It's holding in 80% water. It's holding in all of our organs and all of our blood and everything. And if you scratch, you get a scratch, guess what happens? Your body doesn't just sit there and like let you bleed out. It sends blood to coagulate and to close up that hole, that boundary, right? And so what it's doing is making sure that A, bacteria doesn't get in, and B, you don't bleed out everything. Your body is already naturally doing this on the densest level. So what we want to do is try to do this on an energetic level and see where there are little cuts and perforations in our fields. So another example of boundaries in our life could be addictions. So this is another one where we would need potentially to strengthen a boundary. So everybody has an addiction, right? You could say that breathing is an addiction because you can't live without it. But what makes it an addiction is when it's something that when it permeates a boundary, is when it's something that you're investing so much energy into it and you're not getting back energy, no reciprocity. So that's when it becomes an addiction. So breathing, you're getting something back, right? You're getting life force energy back. But other areas of your life where you're putting energy into something and you're getting not very much back. I could go as far as to say that like watching Bachelorette is one of my little addictions that does not serve me. Every time I watch this show, I feel a little dumber. I feel a little dumber. I feel like I wasted a little bit of my time. And so that's something simple that I could change or shorten or create a little bit of a stronger boundary in and feel less fatigued the next day and less like I, have this energy just kind of seeping out of me because I put more energy into something and I got little to nothing back. Right. And that's not to say that watching TV is bad, but it's to say that maybe try watching a comedy show instead. It could be just as, inappropriate. It doesn't have to be all inspirational, but if it's something that makes you laugh and raises your vibration, it makes you feel better about yourself, then that is, reciprocity. You're getting more back out of it that you're putting into that. So that's an area where a boundary in our life can be adjusted on an energetic level. So another example that I wanted to bring up that is personal to me. Hi, Jorge. Hi, Cindy. I'm addicted to. I know, right? Yeah, my daughter's going to school and they're already putting, her in front of a computer, and that's something that I was on the cusp of that change. And so it's a little interesting to see how much, we're using technology now to talk to each other. So there is a limit. Especially, like I said, when it becomes an addiction. Okay, so another boundary topic that I wanted to discuss is resisting the urge to say no. So we kind of touched on this before, but I wanted to go a little deeper into it. So resisting the urge to say no, as people pleasers, which some of us can be, we can be invited to an event or asked to make a commitment to something that doesn't necessarily resonate with us. And because we don't want to have resistance, because we're taught to not have resistance, and we could be misinterpreting that, we actually go ahead and commit to it and say yes, because we don't want to say no because we don't want to have resistance in our life. But in actuality, when you make a decision to commit to something or to go to something, when you deep inside don't necessarily feel like it resonates with you or that you want to do it or that you're going to receive any benefit from it, you're resisting the urge to say no, but by doing that, you're saying no to yourself. So you're not really not saying no because you are saying no, but you're saying no to yourself, and you're not giving yourself the space to honor what you actually truly want and what you actually truly need. And so when you do that, it just kind of snowball effect at that point. So you have less and less fun if this thing that you committed to. You create resentment toward yourself. You create resentment toward those people too. Perfiation. Your energetic field is just going to fall apart at that point because, again, it's not reciprocity. You're not getting back what you put into it. In fact, you have so much resistance to saying no that you're just like smothering your own inner knowing. And that is something that I've dealt with a lot in my life, especially being a people pleaser. So yes, we want to attract things into our life and not have resistance to things, but we have to think about what really is resonating and ringing within us. And if we're saying no to ourselves, we are resisting. Okay, and so when you do that, you're gonna get tired, and you're gonna feel not well, and your energy is just gonna deplete, and it's basically like the blood isn't gonna come to coagulate, and you're gonna bleed out. Okay, so I brought a little example today because like I said, my kid's going to kindergarten, so we're gonna do an art project. So I'm gonna fold this little paper up, and each one of these pieces that I fold over each other are gonna represent all the layers, right? Your skin, your organs, your cells, your etheric body, your emotional body, your mental body. Let's just say these are all the layers that are actually going through us, okay? And so, got some scissors here. We're going to say you watched too much Bachelorette because you were too lazy to do a meditation and now you're tired. That's a little permeation, right? You went out to happy hour with your friends even though you really wanted to go and watch the Akashic Academy or join for $11.11 a month. Permeation. You engaged in some gossip even though you felt bad about it, but you're not going to go back and fix it, and next time you're not going to probably change it. Permeation. Perforation, whichever you prefer. Hole, piercing. Let's say that you have a relationship with somebody that you don't know that well, and you let your guard down and trusted them, and then they fell through. Another perforation. And then let's just say that you didn't set a boundary. This is the biggest one. Let's make this the big one. You didn't set a boundary and say no when you didn't actually want to do something. Okay, I think you guys are getting the idea of where I'm getting at. By the time this is all done, these are all our layers. Let's open them up. We've got this crazy, messed up snowflake where all these holes are actually going through every single layer, okay? Every single layer of energy. And so if we don't find a way to find something that can help us wrap this up and refill these holes where we're letting energy go out and we need the energy to come back in, we're just going to bleed out. We need that coagulation. And actually what we really want to do is once we become clear about what we truly want and what boundaries really represent to us, and where we find joy and where we don't find joy. And once we get really clear about that, what you really want to see is this. So I pre-did this one. This is like the yin yang. You want an in and you want an out. You want your energy field to be ever flowing and ever commingling, but you want one in and one out. Maybe a couple more, but you get the idea. You don't want a bunch of little holes. You want to have a place where you can receive, and you want to have a place where you give out. But you don't want to keep poking all these holes in your energy field and just deflate like a balloon. So, hi, Rocky. That's my hubs. And you're 60, William. My existence is freedom. I'm different. I'm free. I never worked one day in my life. That's amazing. That is awesome. That's a beautiful way to put it too, because if you love something, you're not working, right? So I wanted to, get everybody's insight about my ideas about boundaries, and tell me what you thought about it. How do you, see in your own life where you have these little perforations that are happening to you on a regular basis where you're not, setting boundaries with love and compassion? And you don't have to say like, no, I'm not hanging out with you guys anymore. You don't have to say that. But what you can say is, right now I need a little time to refill my cup, or, thank you for the invitation, or even, when you act this way, it kind of hurts my feelings, so I'm going to ask you not to talk to me that way anymore, and I would really appreciate it. You don't have to be combative, but you can set boundaries in your relationships. I need to go to this school, Cindy. Okay, so let's go ahead and together, because I love doing the co-creation together and time together, and hold space for each other right now. And if you have a pen and paper, that always helps me. I always have one. Think about areas in your life, and maybe you don't have to like sit and make a list right now. Maybe go about the rest of your day and evaluate how things make you feel. So when you go and do something and invest your energy in it, how does it make you feel? And that's how you can really tell. Your body will tell you, this served me or this didn't serve me. this helped me or it didn't help me, or this is an area where I have a leak and I need to close this up. So while we think about this, I just want everybody to like go into like a meditative state if you can. If you're driving, don't do that. But if you're able to just close your eyes and imagine your auric field, your emotional field, your mental field, and all the different layers, and just imagine them being filled right now, and just setting that intention and asking for our higher powers and a God source energy to come in and do this is all you have to do. That's all it takes is that intention and that faith. So I'm just going to send this out to everybody today, that we could recognize and make changes actively in our life. And then until then, all of the little holes will be coagulated. We're going to send life force energy to all those little areas so that they refill and close. And maybe for those areas where we can't receive, where we're not receiving, we're not able to accept love and energy given back to us, let's open those up a little. Let's air those out. And we thank our higher God, our source, our creator, for having the ability to tap into this at any time and be grateful for that. And I just hope that you guys do feel a difference this weekend. You know, notice how you're feeling drained or where you're not feeling drained anymore, because we've filled this energy filled back up. And anytime you feel drained, you can do that and fill your own cup back up. Just takes honoring yourself and listening to yourself and showing yourself that love. Hi, Leonella. Nice to meet you. Realized that a long time ago. Hola from San Pedro, Belize. Thank you. Jamie, I was just saying this morning, I need to practice more self-care. Yes. And when we go into that state where we practice more self-care, we can mindfully realize, you know, where we aren't caring for ourselves in other situations in our life, and where we can stretch our boundaries in some ways and shrink them in other ways, and, you know, again, change our perception. So I want to say thank you to everybody today, and I really hope that this served you, and that you did receive energy from this, and that this did help you, and that this exchange of energy was reciprocity for you. And if you like this, we've got more of this stuff here in the Akashic Academy in the secret group. It's only $11.11 a month, which is, you know, 2 Starbucks trips, guys. You know, let's set that little boundary, right? A little less Starbucks, a little more Akashic Academy, a little more motivation in our life. And it's a really cool inside group, because it's a loving and caring and family environment, and we get together all the time and have ceremonies where we release these type of scenarios. We release these energies that we're holding on to, and we create space for each other to refill that void with unconditional love. So I hope that you guys check it out, and, you know, share this out to anybody that you think might need to just do a little self-reflection today, and maybe this, you know, could spark a little more reciprocity in our life, right? A little more ebb and flow, a little bit more of the yin and the yang, the Tai Chi. So I want to say I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you next week. I think next week we're going to be talking about water. So if you want to join at 11 a.m. Central and bring a cup of water with you. And then also, again, write down any synchronicities that come up throughout the week so that we can share them and see where we're all co-creating the same synchronicities. And then any perspective changes that you've had. I'd love to hear what everybody, you know, what they get from this, and, you know, and how we can all make our lives better together. So have a great day, guys. Mwah. Love you all. I'll see you next week. Bye.